shield, and he in whom I trust.
The Vickers MBT is a British-made Rank 5 BR7.7 medium tank that came about 30 years too late for me to make British Raj memes. The MBT was built as a cheap export tank and India began license producing them as the Vijayanta, meaning victorious, which is ironic for a nation in a never-ending war with its neighbor.
You are fucking bastard, you
The Vijayanta served until they decided to stop building tanks and start building toilets, and was retired in 2008 in favor of copy-pasta Russian tanks, but it still remains in use as recently as last year in that funky border war they decided to have for no reason. As proven, the tank was so versatile that they chucked the marksman turret on it for shits and giggles, as well as making later versions which ended up being captured and used by fucking Boko Haram.
The Jews in Boca Raton.
But enough about the tea-drinking imperialist fucks. How does the harasser of women online play in the game? In general, it plays like a Centurion Mark 10 but with key differences, such as in terms of maneuverability. The Vijayanta uses the same L60 engine from the Chieftain with all the same reliability issues. However, because the tank isn't some fat SX chav but an Indian child on the verge of starvation, it weighs 10 tons less than either of its estranged uncles. This weight loss means that it can use all 608 cow power to hit nearly 30 miles per hour on smooth terrain, and it accelerates well with better turning rates than the Centurion. However, when it comes to armor, it turns out that eating enough vindaloo to make you diarrhea out the fat doesn't work well. The MBT has 60 to 80 mil of armor on the hull and an effective 100 to 160 mil on both the turret and both plates, with the added bonus of having the takeaway carries left literally anywhere. This means that you cannot take any punishment harder than a Pakistani man criticizing your country on the internet, so you will aim to not get shot, or you'll unsurprisingly explode. So with good speed and crap armor, how does the gun compare to the Centurion? Guess what? Every goddamn tank had the L7 105mm cannon and the Vijayanta is no different. This is most definitely not a bad thing as it remains hard hitting, accurate and with a really quick reload. Since your engine crew are powered by pure distilled rolled bent stamped glued shitted out by Gandhi himself hatred for Pakistan, they load the APDS in nearly 6 seconds in the hope of more rupees, meaning you have an insane rate of fire of nearly 10 rounds per minute. The only real downside compared to the Cent is the 7 degrees of gun depression, which, trust me, feels goddamn bad for a British tank. Finally, your gun uses the same shells as usual. The stock L28A1 APDS shell with 300mm of pen is what you will use, despite having weaker post-pen performance than the average Indian man has success with Western women. And the L35 HESH will be used for dealing with SBAAs who would try and dispute who shot down whose plane. So, how do you play the non-Hindu annihilator? To start, load about 27 frozen curries to empty out the Dabawala cans, and take 3 soft badges for snacking on anti-airs. You are either a light medium tank or an obese light one, so here are your 2 play styles. The real way to play is to use your good speed to get to a good spot with cover nearby and send curries downrange like the bottle plant send chemicals into the lungs of poor children, aiming for the turret for maximum annihilation, and also so they can't hit you back. Your gun is extremely accurate and great at range, so you sit to your advantage and punch right through fat Western tourists like they're in the slums of Mumbai and take anything harder from the side. Speaking of side, the light tank option is the manliest one, as it will involve you flanking stupid or heavily armored tanks to pump 2 shots into their sides in quick succession, then using your good reverse to get out of there faster than India voting in a general election, which really isn't that difficult. In both these cases you must remember your chronic lack of armor, and as such getting shot is generally a death sentence, and your worst gun depression will fuck you over compared to pretty much any other tank in the British stream. So use your Gandhi sanctioned nukes to spread democracy with Indian characteristics. Now you know how to slap up some Pori Patty on the other team. What upgrades do you take? Since Ganesh has blessed you with free APDS, your upgrades are relatively painless, but first take parts and FPE, since the government doesn't care if your crew die, since there's a billion more. Then adjustment of fire and elevation mechanism to hit targets in the mountains of Kashmir, followed by tracks to get up them, and smokes to peddle opium over them, followed by night vision to see if your Indian Jet has a moustache, and artillery to spam at cap points like Maoist fucks terrorizing you for the last 50 years. Once you have taken these, go down the mobility line, and do whatever the fuck you please. In terms of training your slumdogs and maharajas, make sure your driver can read the manual for maneuvering, repairing, and staying alive longer than his 40-year life expectancy. Your gunner must come back from his Western computing degree to target, and range find the packy bastard opposite, followed by vitality to keep himself on that Western health insurance plan. Your lordly commander must keep sovereignty over his subjects, and have enough bribe money to pay off death and the mechanics. And finally your loader needs to load the rounds properly, or the tank will be more explosive than the Indian economy, which again isn't that difficult. By following these simple steps you will find that this is the correct way to play the Vijayanta aka the Vickers MBT. Now go out there and be better at cricket than the guys who invented it.